The reviewer. Today we're reviewing the Majority Audio Fitzwilliam3. This is a smart internet radio tuner and music system all in one. So this is like a separate unit. It doesn't have any built-in speakers, but it has a lot of audio output capability. So this would sit under your TV with your receiver and provide you with your smart internet radio, DAB+ radio, Spotify Connect, podcasts, Bluetooth, and it provides, as I say, digital and analog audio outputs, and it has its own remote control. In the box we've got the main unit with its moulded mains cable and plug, standard UK 3-pin plug. We've got the instruction guide, we'll go through that in a moment. We've got the remote control, again we'll go through that separately. We've got the batteries for the remote, and we've also got an antenna. We need to attach this to the back. This one is for the Wi-Fi, as opposed to the other antenna that's already attached, which is for the radio reception. So we'll turn this around and have a look at the connections on the back of the unit. So looking at the back of the unit from left to right, we've got the mains cable in. We've got the connector for the Wi-Fi antenna, so we need to take the small red cover off that and then screw on the Wi-Fi antenna. Once we've done that, the Wi-Fi antenna can be adjusted for best reception or best fit, whatever it's fitting behind. Further along we've got the analog left-right RCA audio outputs. We've got the analog audio input and output of auxiliary. Next to that we've got the optical output and the coax output. This will be to go to a hi-fi separate amplifier or a receiver, possibly even also to a TV in this day and age. Next along we've got the radio antenna, so again that can be adjusted, extended in order to get best reception. The Majority Fitzwilliam3 does come with a very comprehensive instruction guide. I'm not going to go through all of this because it is very detailed. Just inside it though is the reminder about the extended 3-year warranty. So worth registering the product and getting that extended warranty just in case. But needless to say, the instruction manual has a lot of well labelled diagrams and lots of step-by-step instructions on every aspect of the device, through the getting started, the setup, how to go through that, and then about the different sources. It is very detailed. It includes reference to all controls that are used with pictograms and icons, so it's very detailed and well worth looking at. Although the unit is very intuitive, but there may be items in the menus that you wouldn't naturally assume were there or know were there, such as alarms and dynamic range compression. So yeah, definitely worth going through the instructions and being familiar with the device. But yeah, it is a 31-page manual, so definitely worth a read. Just before we go through the setup of the unit, I thought I'd go through the remote. As you can see, it's a very comprehensive remote control. We have the power button, we've got a snooze button, we've got the clock, sleep, alarm, scan, pairing, random, repeat, dimmer, mode, info, play, pause and up, previous track, next track, select in the middle, and then the down and stop. We've got an equalization button, we've got preset button, we've got the volume up and down, we've got menu and back, we've got presets up and down, and then we've got a numeric keypad with a mono and stereo button and a mute button in the bottom right. And this takes the batteries, the two supplied AAA batteries. So now on the front of the unit, on the far left, we've got the infrared sensor for the remote control. We've got a headphone socket, so if you want to listen without disturbing others and you don't want it coming out of speakers, then you can use the headphone socket. We've also got a USB socket for a mass storage device USB stick. We've got the display. Then we've got a collection of control buttons. So we've got the mode to select between different sources. We've got the info button to give us more information in different screens. We've got the menu to bring up like the system menu and the main menu. Then we've got scan, play, pause, stop, previous track, next track, preset, back, and then we've got two dials at the end. So the first one is for moving through options on the display and pressing it to select, and the last one is a dedicated volume control and power. So again, press it for the power on off and rotate for the volume. And both of these two have got this very nice beveled chrome look on them, and everything else is in this brushed black metal look. Very similar to most hi-fi separates for people familiar with those, and yeah, a very good look. And they've just kept the majority brand logo in the middle. It doesn't say the Fitzwilliam on it anywhere. Not even sure whether that popped up on the display, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we've got all the options available to us, and we've got a usable unit. So let's get it plugged in and powered up and go through the setup. So when we connect it up, it will go through its initialization process. So as with other devices that have a similar functionality in them in the majority range, such as the 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗜𝗢, they have an inbuilt wizard. So we have the language selection. As you can see, we can pick various languages. Quite a selection there. I'm going to go for English, and it tells us about visiting the frontiersmart.com site in order to go through the privacy information, because obviously we're going to connect to the internet and there's going to be some data exchange, so you can go through that. And the final sentence says press select to continue, so we should do that. Do we want to go through the setup wizard? Yes, we do. What format do we want the clock in, 12 or 24 hour? I like the 24 hour. How do we want the clock to be updated? It can pick up the time from the DAB network. It can pick it up from FM through RDS. We can update from the network, which is probably best, or we can have it not update at all. Best to have the clock set automatically. It saves time, so I'll update that from the network. And I am in UTC, so that's the option for me. Obviously depends on what time zone you're in. Daylight saving is currently off. Keep network connected. I don't think it needs to keep the network connected. Obviously I can turn it on and then it will connect to the network then, so no. Now we're going into the network wizard, so it's going to use the antenna on the back and its inbuilt network card in order to try and find all the networks that it can find. And once we've found our network, we can use the WPS option, so that's handy. That means we don't need to try and use the scroll wheel and the select button in order to enter a lengthy passcode. We can just use the WPS functionality, so that means we can use it with the pin or we can use it with the push button. Mine uses the push button, so select that option. Now I need to press the WPS button on my router, so I should go and do that, and we'll be back again in a moment. So I've now pressed the WPS button, so I can press select to continue. And there we are, connected. So that's all the network setup done. Press select to exit. So if I now turn it off, it should show us the real time. Yep, so it has picked that up from the network. And that's good. So now we can turn it on and pick what we want to do. So we can use the mode button here. So the mode shows us a graphical display on the menu, and we use the scroll to go through the podcasts, Spotify, music player, DAB+, FM radio, Bluetooth, auxiliary in, and internet radio, and then we're back to the podcasts. Now my favourite is always Spotify. I have all my playlists on Spotify, so that's the one that I'm going to have a look at now. So again, press to select. It's obviously going to use the network connection. So this is possibly where, if you tell it to not disconnect, this bit may be slightly quicker each time you start up. So now it is waiting as a Spotify Connect device. That means that if I go into Spotify on my phone, so now we have the option of the majority Fitzwilliam3. If we select that, it says connecting, and now we can see the track that I've got selected here is also displayed on the Fitzwilliam3. So if I press play, you can see the pause on the bottom of the display went away, and as I change tracks also change on the device. But I don't need to use my phone now, so I can navigate through purely by using the Fitzwilliam3, and after it's started and loaded, it will display the track artwork, the album artwork. So, and if I go info, I will get the artist, the album, the bit rate and the sampling rate, and the playback buffer. And I believe, yeah, if I press the select, I also get the album artwork full screen. So when I want to change to playing something else, I go back to mode, and I can pick, so the USB music player. So that assumes that I've put MP3 tracks onto a USB stick and connected that into the front. Or I've got DAB+. So I haven't got the aerial up at the moment, but if I pop the aerial up, so it's found 8 stations so far, 20, so now I can use the scroll wheel to pick from the available channels. If I go into radio 2, and again we can see from the info various bits of information about the track, about the radio station, and about the quality of the signal. And it go back. That allows me to get back to the station list again. On select, tunes in. So we can see it's quick at changing radio stations, navigation simple, the array of types of media it can deal with. Most things we can do over Bluetooth and via the AUX In. Then we've got internet radio on top of that, on podcasts and Spotify. So a whole array of different sources of audio, whether it be audiobooks, podcasts or music, whether it's live over the radio or it's streamed via the other services. So all in all, an incredibly capable unit, will sit well with an amplifier under a TV with your Blu-ray player and provide all the music sources that you need over high quality digital output, so that you can get the best sound quality and also the ability to use headphones in the front if you so wish. So that again is the Majority Fitzwilliam3 smart internet radio tuner and music system. Thank you for watching.